Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Anurag, and I would like to welcome you all on this very insightful session on take off your digital marketing career with Youthopedia. And here we'll be talk about few topics of digital marketing, like what is digital marketing, and where we will be cover the broad scopes and inclusions. We'll talking about content marketing, search engine optimization, social social media marketing, and advertising. We'll be covering the analytics here. And before we start, I would quickly like to introduce Youthopedia. It's a platform designed to give a direction to the students on their suitable career options. With the prime focus on youth upliftment, Youthopedia's mission is to become a main source of guidance for the youth today as they face a number of career options, changing job situations, and along with it, a number of psychological issues that they experience on an everyday basis. And as we are aware about these uncertain times, we believe that it can be leveraged by gaining knowledge and guidance at home by the experts. So today we have with us Mr. Ashish Manchanda. He's the Vice President of Client Strategy at RepIndia. Ashish has worked with more than 25 brands across industries in his marketing career of more than 7 years. The digital marketing strategist specializes in storytelling and solving marketing problems. He has won the ET Now Stars of Industry Young Achiever Award in 2019, Global Marketing Congress Digital Market of the Year Award 2019, Social Samosa 30 Under 30, and is one of India's top 100 digital marketers. He has been associated with several national and international campaigns like Mobile World Congress Barcelona, IFF Berlin, CES, Airtel Satyamev Jayate, Ignis Electronation, and Make Way for Siaz. And over to you, Ashish.
Thank you so much, Anurag. Thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to be here and share my learning and experience with a lot of people.
Yes, Ashish, you think we can start now?
Absolutely. Can I present my screen?
Yeah, sure.
I hope it's visible.
Yes, it is. It is.
So I'm not too fond of PPT, so I haven't spent too much time creating one, but I'll give you a basic. This session will be more about sharing my experience rather than going textbook style. So what is digital marketing? In a layman language, it is the use of internet to reach customers. And there's a misconception for a lot of people, especially for college goers. Digital marketing equals to social media, which is not correct. Social media is just a small subset of digital marketing. Digital marketing is a broad field. It includes SEO, search engine optimization. We'll go dig deeper into this. Search engine marketing. Like I mentioned earlier, social media is a subset of this. Pay per click, advertising, affiliate marketing, email marketing. These days, instant messaging marketing also. WhatsApp was developed as a private platform, but brands have started monetizing. You must have used WhatsApp Business for Mintra. There are a lot of brands starting exploring. And these is Telegram also. So this is also growing considering there are millions and millions of people actively using these platforms. So first would like to burst the myth. Social media is just a part of digital marketing. It's not digital marketing totality. It's a vast field. It's a huge field. While social media attracts us because we are consumer of social media from past 1 decade. I think it started with Orkut, then Facebook. Facebook these days have become an old age home, and I don't mind saying that our parents are more active on Facebook than we are. For us, it's Instagram now. Instagram pretty much offers everything from reels to stories to IGTV. For a long form content, you have IGTV. For short form, you have reels. You have Insta stories for perishable content. So it satisfies all our needs. TikTok ban was unfortunate, but there are diverse opinions on that, and I won't harm my cause talking about it. So quickly moving on, content marketing. See, we have been discussing content for ages now, and I'm sure you must have heard this 30 or times by now, or maybe more. Content is the king. It was the king, it is king, and it will remain the king. It is the present and future of marketing. It encompasses everything, and this is the skill set you require if you want to go into digital. You need to understand brand. You need to understand what content is, what purpose is. So going into definitions, content marketing is a strategic marketing approach which is focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and relatable content. So that relatability factor is really important. You must have seen 5 years back, brands were ridiculed for talking in Hindi. They were considered not so cool if they used to talk in Hindi. But these days, be it Spotify, the way they have localized their content, be it Netflix or be it Amazon Prime or Burger King also, you know, the word that attracts the most is relatability. The content should be relatable. They used to say radio is a private medium, it's a personal medium, it's an intimate medium. You feel as if RJ is talking to you. The same concept, the same principle applies on social media. If you see a meme, you should think that this meme is meant for me, how it is relatable to me. This is a platform like Good Code, Humans of Bombay. They have emerged so much because, and at the end of the day, it's all about storytelling. How you tell your brand story to the world. It's not just about selling. Bombarding audience about your product USPs. Yes, you have to do that as a marketer, but it's a vast world available, and content marketing is not just used for getting leads. It's to create awareness for the brands also. And there are certain brands that have aced this content marketing game. To name a few, Amul, they take a dig on every topical stuff, be it newspaper, be it their social media channel. They have worked with Deacon in the past 2 decades. Meme marketing, they have completely aced it. Zomato is a good example also. Nexa is also a good example. Tinder, Amazon, Swiggy. The kind of content these guys are sharing on their social media channels is quite impressive. It's quite relatable. It's quite funny. There are various appeals, emotional, um, comical, and they struck the right chord with the audience. So content is really important. Be it SEO, any vertical of digital media, social media, you see, you don't go to anyone's timeline. You see their content and you engage with it. In journalism, they say you are as good as your last story. And I think this is true for social media also. You are as good as your last post. If your content is not engaging enough, see, the algorithm will work against you. People will stop seeing your post, and you'll assume that even if you have 3 million fans on your page, your content will have a reach of 3,000, 4,000. So it is really important it's not just about churning out content. I have worked with some 30 odd clients and gone. See, in 2015, in 2016, I used to go to clients offices on 25th or 28th of each month. Sir, ये आपकी 15 day की next content bucket है. Similarly, 10th of next month ये आपका 30th तक का content है. Gone are those days. You have to be on your toes all the time. You have to grab the opportunity available. Call it topical marketing. You have to think at the spur of the moment. You have to churn out content based on what's happening. So, and public memory is quite short, so you have to be on your toes and you have to churn out content on daily basis. It has to be relatable, and you can't just do one good post and then move. Then it has to be consistency, and that's true for all the things in the life. Consistency is really important. So what is search engine marketing? Initially, say half a decade back, we used to consider SEO and SEM as part of search. In the layman's language, search engine optimization is your organic effort. If you search something on Google, there are 10 results available. Starting toward generally ads. This is search engine marketing. It's a strategy used to increase the visibility of a website in the search and results pages. See, it's a very transparent model. You do a bidding, you see what keywords work for me, you bid for that keyword. And if you see flight options available, you will see a couple of ads, and it's mentioned that these are ads. This is your search engine marketing. You pay per click, you pay for a visit. SEO is in a way opposite to that. It's more of an organic effort. It's like nurturing a tree. It takes time, but you don't have to pay to Google to get visibility on the search page. And it is really important because there's a famous saying that Google's second page is the second best place to hide a dead body. Only 3% users go there. So to get the visibility, it's really important to be on the first page of Google. And for everything in life, for every marketing decision, you have to consider what your consumer is thinking. What are the long tail keywords involved? What is user searching? So you have to think like a user. You know, Often we marketeers, we don't think from a consumer perspective. We think, what my manager want to see, how I perceive the brand. So it's really important that this mindset should be changed. We should think from an audience perspective, what they want, not what brand wants. What is their expectation from the brand. So as you can see in the screenshot, if you search best car insurance policy in India, The top two search results are the ads, one from Tata AIG Car Insurance and the other by HDFC Ergo. On SEO, if there's an SEO effort, you won't see this ad, the one you can see on the top. So while search engine marketing refers to paid search marketing, it's a system where you pay to Google to show ads. If people click on it, you will be paid. You can set a minimum budget. There is no dearth of spending. Also, completely depends on your budget. Whereas SEO is more of an organic effort where you don't pay Google for traffic. It's like I mentioned earlier. It requires a long time effort, and you get a free spot in the search results. There are two ways to look at it. One is on-page SEO, and there is off-page SEO also. On-page SEO includes things that you can do, changes that you can do on your website. How Google crawls search results, if your website is secured, how the UI UX, is it frequently updated, what's the domain authority. It's a number that Moz or other tools give you from 1 to 100. That and how old is your domain name, how consistent it is. And off-page SEO is the things you do other than your on website. It's quality backlinks and number of backlinks. I won't go into technicalities today. I'll cover the basic topics. So this is the example of SEO. While my first two results, as you can see, ads. This is search engine marketing. You pay to Google, and the link by Make My Trip, the one highlighted in the red box, is due to the SEO efforts. So what is social media marketing? I'm sure this is something that attracts each one of us, because be it a 13-year-old or be it a 60-year-old, we spend a lot of time on social media outlets. For some, it was TikTok. For most of us, it's Instagram. I'll say that again, for our parents, it's either WhatsApp or it's Facebook. For most of the intellectual, Bollywood, cricket, and someone who's interested in politics and daily stuff, topical stuff, it's Twitter. So every platform has its own pros and cons, and it's very evolving. We haven't read about social media in our curriculum. We had new media as one of our courses, but there was hardly anything about social media at that point of time in 2010 20. It was at a very nascent stage. So whatever we have learned through our experience. And this is one thing that we have noticed in our career. There are a lot of brands that are making this mistake. They're replicating content across all platforms, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, be it Twitter, be it LinkedIn. And we agency guys are also to be blamed from that. We tend to take shortcuts. Who will make like 4 different pieces of content. Let's make one and replicate it across all platforms. And there are a lot of people who say, audience is the same. There are 300 millions on Facebook. Some of them are on LinkedIn. Ultimately, the same person is viewing my content. But the thing is, intent and what platform is meant for. On Facebook, I want to share my experiences. I want to connect with my friends. Instagram is more artsy, more visual led. Twitter is for primarily for CRM and for your daily topical stuff. LinkedIn is the time spent on LinkedIn is 3x more than any other platform. So if there's a long form content, LinkedIn is the best platform for that. So I go to LinkedIn to educate myself, to learn a thing or two. People go for job hunting also. And if I may say, LinkedIn is Facebook in making. The way they have changed their platform. Uh, a very small but very useful innovation these days, open to work in your profile picture. So video formats on LinkedIn and hashtags also. So LinkedIn is becoming people are flocking to LinkedIn also, and I think it's the second biggest India, the second biggest market for LinkedIn. And I may have said that Facebook is an old age home, but still 300 million Indians are active on Facebook. It's not going anywhere. The kind of flexibility Facebook gives you, no other platform does. You can share a 1-minute video, you can share a 100-minute video. If you want to redirect traffic to website, Facebook is one of the key platforms. So you can post a photo, you can post a video, you can post a GIF, you can post a carousel, you can post a story also. So the kind of platform flexibility gives you, the kind of reach Facebook gives you, I think no other platform does. And I haven't seen a social media led platform, that has thrived. There are examples, Detol did a TikTok hand wash challenge. There are platform specific, but any mass viral campaign, I think Facebook is a key part of your media marketing mix. So that's the small thing that I wanted to highlight. I'm open to take any questions, and I'll just stop sharing my screen also.
Thanks, Ashish.
No
So
problem.
we have got like couple of questions. So can you please tell us like how one can become a digital marketer, and what all qualifications are required or certifications are required to be one?
There are hardly any technicalities involved, to be honest. In past 3 years at RepIndia, we have hired IITians, we have hired a BTech dropout, and we have hired people from across field, law, BCA, everything. So it's no rocket science.
Yeah.
All you do is you should be good in terms of content.
Hmm.
Common sense, as they say, common sense is not common to all, but if you have common sense, you can literally thrive in this field. One should have a knack for marketing, advertising, and in I'm 29 only, but in my time, if I may say, in your time, in 2010, 12, there were no formal courses available.
Right.
Now IIT is providing the same, the Great Lakes Institute is providing the same. There are a lot of online courses available. Yes, it does help theoretical knowledge, and as they say, no education goes waste. So one can avail that, and I think if I have to recommend, I would recommend, start with internships. There is a slowdown, there's layoff going on, but still a lot of organizations, including RepIndia, most agencies are hiring interns. There is no substitute for experience, and there is no substitute for on the job training. So learn with your teammates, try to understand the brand, understand, how a day goes in the life of an agency person, understand the traits involved. See, the major part of our job is to liaise with certain teams and to comprehend the brief. And they say a good brief is half the job done. So
Right.
for an account manager person, it's really important to understand the brief, decode it for various team members. There are separate teams. There is copy team, art team, ORM team, SEO team, and a client servicing person is generally uh, a client for its internal team. You have to coordinate with them, and you have to make sure the product is in line with the client's expectation and your expectations also. So I think internship is one way to know the things. Plus there are a lot of books available, there are a lot of online courses available, and it's no rocket science. If you decide to invest your time in it, I think you can master the trade.
Right, right, Ashish. And when we talk about the skills, is there any specific skills that would be required to become a good digital marketer?
See, knowledge of platforms is important. You need to understand the pros and cons of each and every platform. Content is really important, one thing, and then understanding the brand. Brand understanding is really important. The people who have you seen thriving, as a brand manager, they know each and everything about their brand, and this is what I have learned. I go through annual reports, I go through brand website. So platform understanding, content, uh, then you can go into technicalities also. How a platform works, how Google search results works, what's keyword planning. So you can learn with the passage of time, but there needs to be interest. You cannot thrive without it. It's a challenging industry. It's a recipe for divorce. It's like journalism only. It's not a Monday to Friday armchair job. Social
Hmm.
media, if I may say, never stops. Every other Sunday is a topical day. Be it Father's Day, Mother's Day, we are always on our toes. We are
Right,
working. For us, Diwali is not a leave. Diwali is a campaign time for us. Similarly, Independence Day, similarly, Raksha Bandhan.
right,
So for every social media marketer, August is busy. There are 12 odd topical days, from Raksha Bandhan to Youth Day to Independence Day to uh, Eid also in July end. So it's no less than journalism. It's not an armchair job. If you're not passionate, I don't think you'll be able to survive for long. It's really demanding.
right, right. And when we talk about the search engine optimization, is there any skill that we required, or do we need to know the web design effect for search engine optimization, and do we need to know
So
the
search
understanding of it?
optimization is one field that requires technical expertise. You need
Okay.
to understand how platform works, how crawling work, how Google works, how your website can appear in the search results. So yes, it does involve technical knowledge. It's not as black and white as social media. There is a bit of gray. So you need to read a bit. You need to spend a lot of time learning, and it's ever evolving. You need to understand certain technical terms also, backlinking, all tags, meta tags.
Hmm.
So yes, this is a bit technical in nature, unlike social media management, because we all are familiar. We all are consumers of social media. While we are consumers of SEO also, right? We all search several things on Google each day,
Right,
but we
right.
don't go into technicalities. So yes, it does involve technicalities, and there are a lot of blogs available on internet. And it's no rocket science. You can try your hand at it, and you can excel.
Hmm. Right. So we are getting a question from Yash. He's asking, what is the role of SEM if compared to search engine optimization, or people or brands prefer search engine marketing or as a shortcut, or what will be the best when we compared SEO and SEM?
See, your marketing mix will be a judicious mix of two. Both have their relevant importance. For short-term results, SEM is the way forward. If there's a product launch, if it's see in an era of instant gratification, SEM is the way forward, right? You pay to Google for click, you get your result on the first page.
Hmm.
SEO, like I mentioned earlier, takes time. It requires organic effort. If you want instant gratification, then you have to go for SEM. So you need to work on both the pillars. Both are essential parts of your digital marketing bit. You need to cover both of them, not just SEO, SEM, but content marketing, PPC, the other mechanics also.
Right.
So you can't choose between the two. You have to go for both of them.
All right.
So if you rely only on SEO, then your competition will bid for your keywords. Someone will be searching IFCO Tokyo, and you will see the result of Max Bupa.
All right. Yeah. But how is the keyword research important?
See,
Like,
there's a lot of tools available. In fact, Keyword Planner is a tool provided by Google. You can
uh-huh.
see the relevant keywords. See, search volume is really important. You may feel that this keyword is important,
Right.
but your feeling is quite subjective, right? You have to go into numbers. You will have to see how many people are searching for how many keywords. For example, if I'm working with a hospital, say Max or Medanta, right?
Right.
Uh, as a brand manager, at times, I'll narrow down my thinking to keywords like Medanta or Medanta, Gurgaon. But you'll have to think from a user perspective. You'll have to see what users are searching. For more than your brand specific keywords, there'll be a keyword used like best hospital in Gurugram,
Hmm.
best cardiac surgeon in Gurgaon,
Right.
something of that sort. So you have to think from a user perspective, and then there are more technicalities also. So at times, the search volumes are not that great, but the intent is high. There are long tail keywords also. Um, Best place to get a knee surgery. It
Hmm.
means user has intent. He's someone who can be easily converted. So
Yeah.
the search volumes may not be there. There may not be thousands of people searching for this, but whoever is searching actual has an intent.
Right.
So some intent based long tail keywords, some brand specific keywords, some generic keywords with high search volume. It has to be a judicious mix of each one of them.
Right. Absolutely. And my another question is, like, if how one can plan the social media campaign. If, like, I wanted to plan, what all things I should keep in mind to plan a campaign?
See. I think this is a lot of people fail. One should stick to the brief. What's the the first thing is to understand the objective of the campaign.
Right.
What's an ideal result you want from the campaign? Do you want to create a awareness for a particular thing? Do you want your conversions? Do you want consideration? Or you just want to increase your share of voice? Or through a campaign you want to negate the negative sentiment? So the first and important aspect of before even ideating a campaign is to grasp the brief right. What's the ultimate objective? At times we tend to get over creative with our stuff, and we tend to lose the plot. If I
Right.
give an example, brands try to be cheeky and they end up doing, the likes of Zomato doing BCMC hoardings and all. So you need to understand what you want from that particular campaign. What's the overall objective? That needs to be kept in mind, and that needs to be think twice before ideating a campaign.
Right. And my another question coming from, just give me, from Anirudh Sharma. He's asking, how should a brand to communicate effectively on Instagram, and especially to a 13 to 18-year old audience, and how a corporate communication brand connect with them?
Okay, so corporate communication brand, that used to be a thing of the past. Hi, Anirudh, I know him personally. Okay, so see, there used to be a distinction. I'm a B2B brand, I'm a B2C brand, I'm a corporate communication brand. I am Tata. I'm not a consumer facing brand. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes, you
so
are.
I am a B2B. See, there's nothing called B2B or B2C. It's all S2S. Ultimately, humans are communicating with humans. For Google, 99% of their revenue comes from B2B sources. Still, they do partition video. So
Right.
while they are corporate brands, they are equally important. Giving you example of one of the clients we work with, Adani Group. 3 years back, they were more of a B2B brand. We were apprehensive whether we should be on Instagram or not. I'm into mining. I'm into other other important assets for the country, infrastructure, logistics, and all. Is it important for them? I'm not dealing with someone who's between 13 to 18. But today, who's someone 13 to 18? If you want to create a legacy brand like Tata, you have to make the brand aspirational now. There are a lot of people who are 13 to 14. They have liked Instagram, Audi's channel or BMW channel. So Instagram is really important if you want to make the brand aspirational.
Right.
Someone who's 13 to 18 may not be your exact audience. He or she may not have the buying capacity, but ultimately he can influence the decision also, right?
Yeah. True.
See, you're selling Pampers to a 28-year-old mother, not to a 6-year-old kid. So he or she may be a influential decision maker also. So if you
Right.
want to make the brand aspirational, I think Instagram is a key platform, and you can't take the platform away from your marketing strategy.
Right. So our another question coming from Avinash Sood. He is asking, what is the best marketing platform for e-commerce website, Facebook or Instagram? And Instagram, I'm so sorry.
See, like I mentioned earlier, Facebook gives a lot of flexibility, but e-commerce is a vast field. It varies from product to product, really. So what kind of TG you are reaching out to, it completely depends on them. While Facebook caters to generally, higher age group. For millennials is an abuse term, but I would still use that. For millennials, Instagram is a key platform, depending on the brand objective. Where you have to reach out where your TG is. So there is no specific answer to that.
All right. Uh, then we have got a question from Praneeth. What is the best platform for connecting to the kids of age 6, between 6 to 15 years?
What do you want to sell to them would be my question. Who's a key decision maker? Uh, do you want to sell a bicycle to them? Who's the decision maker? Their mom decide or their father decide? Like it's about the category. What do you want to sell to them? Do you want to sell an e-learning course? Because generally, someone who's 7 to 8 year old may not be the decision maker. You want to reach out to early moms, 28 to 30 category. I think Facebook is a good platform for that. Again, there are genres also. Genres like cooking and all. They have really picked up on Instagram, especially during the lockdown. Travel and fitness is one are certain genres that were always popular on Instagram. So it depends on genres and age group also.
Right.
Why are you forgetting YouTube Kids is something, OTT players also. There are separate OTT channels for kids now. There's Wood Kids, there's YouTube Kids, and so on. So I think, a lot of marketers are targeting kids or infants via YouTube channel. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I'm sorry to say, she watches YouTube like couple of hours in a day. So why are you neglecting YouTube from your strategy? It's an important platform, considering, um, we consume data like anything. It's one of the cheapest in the entire world. We consume a lot of video content, and if you want to demonstrate something, if you want to learn something, I think YouTube is also a key platform. Kids spend a lot of time on YouTube. Gaming also, see, this is how I started the call. Our for college goers, for someone who's new into social media, our scope is quite limited. We feel, digital marketing is just Facebook and Insta. There's a huge world available. All the OTT players are there. There's podcasts. Podcasts are picking up like anything. While going to office in February, March, I used to listen to marketing lessons on Spotify. So a lot of brands are promoting their content on Spotify. There are huge avenues available. Just don't restrict yourself to these two platforms.
Right. Right. And let's take another one. How can I drive digital traffic to my site immediately? Is there any, way?
I am really sorry. I don't know such secret sauce, but ultimately, see, you have to use plethora of platforms. You can use ads on social media. You can run ads on GDN. You can create an active blog. You can leverage influencers. So there are a whole lot of things you can do, but it requires time and investment. See, there is no secret sauce for that. If you'll ask me, I have 230 followers on Instagram. How can I have 10,000 by the end of 1 week? See, I'm on Instagram from past 7 years and I have 500 followers. I am sorry, I don't know any secret sauce for that. You have to invest a lot of time. You have to develop content that's relatable.
Right.
You have to understand audience and their needs. You need to understand where your audience is. So as a marketer from past 3 years, in almost 10 odd meetings, I must have said to my clients, don't do SMS campaigns. SMS is a graveyard. People use it for OTP only. There's no point investing money in SMS campaigns. And some 15 odd days back, I got a message from Mahindra First Cry. They're giving a 60% discount on infant wear. I saw that message. My daughter was looking for a pajama and I bought it right away. So for 3 years, I have been advising my clients, don't do SMS campaigns. It doesn't work. It's a graveyard. And I was converted in a minute.
Right.
So you never know. I'm not saying spray and pray, but you have to experiment with a certain platforms and see what's best. See, it's a ever learning process, and then you have to identify what works best for you.
Right, Ashish. And we have a very agency centric question by Kanika Kanwar, and she's asking, there are two most used words in an agency setup. One is insight, and another one is strategy. And she still haven't been able to understand the apt meaning. So, can you help with that?
There are a lot of abused words. Insight is one of them. Strategy is one of them. There are other words also. Uh, see, it, can I get that question one more time? Sorry.
Yeah. So there are two most used words in the agency setup. One is insight and strategy.
No,
But
why is she forgetting the word viral? That's why I think if you ask me, viral and millennials are the two most abusive words.
yeah. But in when we say insight and strategy, she still haven't been able to understand the apt meaning of that word.
Insights is about understanding audience and their needs. What have you learned from your market research? It involves delving deep into the brand. So, who are your actual consumers? How are they consuming content? What are the decision factors involved in purchasing a product? So, insights, there is no specific, answer for that. But it's about understanding what your audience caters to. What are the patterns they are following?
Hmm. Right. And we have another question. How important is Quora marketing for your digital marketing strategy? Does it add value?
Of course it does. So if you see first page of Google, generally you're seeing intent based platform. Hello,
Yes.
hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Ashish, you
Yeah,
are.
like I said, Quora is quite important. Uh, the audience consuming content on Quora is increasing day by day, and the best part about Quora is searchability.
Hmm.
Generally, if you type any particular question on Google, you
Hmm.
generally see Quora on the first page of Google. So it increased visibility for the brand. Plus, it's an intent driven platform. You will
Yeah.
see a lot of people, who may or may not have interest in a particular brand and still, liking your page or just engaging with your content. But Quora is really intent driven. Plus,
Right.
it's a nice Q&A platform. It's a knowledge sharing platform also. I spend a lot of time on Quora, gives you a lot of insights. It's a great platform to learn also. While, brands have been reluctant to, spend money on Quora, but there are a lot of ways you can monetize your presence there also. So like any other platform, be it Facebook or Insta, you can run ads on Quora also. But primarily brands are generally doing organic stuff also. But I think it'll pick up.
All right. So we
The
have.
thing about Quora is the things are more in black and white, and unfortunately, people these days don't like to read. I would rather watch a video than reading something. It's all black and white. There's no video content.
Right.
So that's why maybe that's the apprehension people have. But it is emerging as a platform.
Right.
Go at a slow pace.
And we have got another question from Moses. He's asking, I'm doing my final year in BE and I'm interested in digital marketing. So, what course should I learn initially, and where should I learn about it?
See, there are a lot of courses available. IIT offers one course. There are a lot of other online tutorials also available. But I haven't done any specific course for digital marketing. I have done my master's as well, bachelor in journalism,
Hmm.
and there was hardly anything with respect to digital media. Whatever I learned, I have learned through experience. So you can start as a fresher in any of the digital agencies. There are 50 odd in Delhi itself.
Hmm.
In fact more than that, so I think on the job training is something I would recommend to you, like I mentioned earlier during the call also. So start working with an agency or start working with the brand, learn the tricks of the trade, see how things work. And like I mentioned earlier, uh, there is no substitute for practical learning. Your textbooks, your theoretical material, your webinars may not give you that exposure or may not give you that much knowledge than on the job. See, uh, um, my job, before the lockdown involved a lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whatever I have learned, I have learned through books, and I have learned through meeting new people. So meet new people, discuss what's going on, and you need to be knowledgeable enough to know what's going in the market. See, social media is a reflection of the society. You will see 1 month back it was all about Sushant, then it was about Black Lives Matter, then it was
Right.
about Fair and Lovely, Glow and Lovely, and so on. So you need to be thorough. You need to know what's going on in the market. You have to stay updated. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like journalism. It's not that you have acquired a degree and then you can spend your life thriving on that degree. So there
Right.
is no degree that you can do that for you. You have to be constantly updated.
Mm-hmm. So we have got another question from Sahil. How much time will need to be invested in each month to help my digital marketing efforts or improve my Google rankings?
See, there is no set timeline prescribed for that. It takes time. It depends upon your marketing budgets also, and depends upon the volume of things that you're managing. There is no set timeline for that. Like I mentioned, if you ask me that my Youthopedia page has 30,000 fans, how much time will it take for me to reach 1 lakh fans? You know, uh, Give me a budget, run a cost per like campaign, CPA campaign, and you can get it done in 3 days. Or do it organically, and you may not be able to ever do it. So there is no set timeline for that.
All right.
Can I have the last question now?
Yeah. So yeah, the question is from Yash, and he's asking post Corona, what should be the primary focus of an automobile brand, and what are your recommendations?
See, I have worked with Nexa 3 years back. I haven't been working with an automobile since then. Post Corona seems like a distant world, to be honest. It may take a year, it may take more than that, but we all are waiting for the vaccine. But can I get that question again? See,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Can I get
So yeah, he's asking that what would be the focus of automobile brands post Corona, and what do you recommend to the automobile brands?
In terms of content, we work with Suzuki, and we have observed that the sales are picking, not as high as we expected it to be, but the sales are picking. See, there's one thing, if I may say a silver lining, pe- people obviously are apprehensive about their safety, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Metros are not available, so public transport is a big no-no, right? And it may remain for next 1 year or so. People who used to travel via buses, via metro, lakhs of them, they'll switch to private mode of transport. So I think the market will pick up. And in terms of content, there are two things that we are doing right now. One is to highlighting the safety. How our dealership are absolutely safe. What are the
Right.
practices we are following, from sanitization tunnel to cashless transactions? Our staffs are wearing masks, they are wearing gloves. There'll be temperature check once you enter the dealership. We'll use Arogya Setu app. So all those things, that gives prospective consumer the confidence to visit the dealership. The second thing is that everything is available at your doorstep. You can use our app service. You can get your bike serviced, or you can get your car serviced at your doorstep. You can call us, we are available. uh, Getting more into modes of transaction rather than offline stores. So I think safety is one thing that we are all talking about for next 1 year or so.
Right. So we'll take two more questions now, and then we'll wrap it up. So one is like, where was that? Why is online marketing preferred more than offline marketing?
I don't, though I have work in online marketing, but I don't believe that. See, digital marketing, I might have used that term, but there's nothing called digital marketing. It's like marketing in a digital context. Even if you become a brand manager of a brand, digital marketing, you have to manage that also. So
Hmm.
it's not that it is more important than offline or it is less important than offline. I don't think, brands like Favicol and all,
Right.
digital have started like they have become active on digital from past 5 years, 6 years. Where were they earlier? They have made some great TVCs, uh, Favicol, beat Amol also, when they started their marketing, Parle-G also. So it has to be a mix of both. There are brands that were initially made on offline, and then now they are leveraging their presence on online world also.
Right. And the
While,
last and the
while there are a lot of people flocking on social media, you can't take away offline, but also these are equally important. And once we get back into civilization now, I think I as a user will stop going for webinars and all. I would like to meet people. I would like to see offline content. I would like to see hoardings around. I would. We all love the feel of a newspaper also. So there is no comparison between the two. There has to be an integrated effort. You can't choose online over offline. You can do your budget segmentation for a while. Example, as a brand, you were planning to spend X amount of money uh, during IPL on your offline campaigns. Now you can shift it to digital, and
Right.
so on. But you cannot compare the two. They complement each other, and you can't talk in two different directions. There is a different communication on online or the different communication offline. It
Right.
has to run in sync. It has to run in point. It should complement each other.
Right. And the last and the very important question, and as we are aware about the current situation, what do you think that the digital marketing career will take off, and how important the entire digital marketing career is for the our upcoming generation?
See, to be honest, I feel lucky to be in digital marketing.
Hmm.
Why I'm saying is, I think it is one of the least affected sectors. I have friends working in F&B sectors. I
Right.
have friends working in hotels. I have friends working in travel sectors.
Right.
These sectors, I don't think they'll improve in next couple of years. Tourism is, say, dead till November, December. People still be happy. It may improve after Diwali, but it will take a lot of time. Although luxury businesses are almost dead, digital is something that is still thriving, that is still on.
Right.
uh, as far as our organization concerned, we haven't laid off a single individual,
Right.
while the biggest of the brands have been forced to do so. I won't name them, but I'm sure a lot of companies have become insolvent. So I think digital is one of the most least affected sectors.
Right.
And see, it depends upon consumers' consumption also. We have seen a lot of reports. Digital consumption has increased 30 to 40% since the lockdown. People have started spending more time on Facebook, LinkedIn, Zoom calls, and so on. So it'll only grow from here, and it is so you can consider yourself lucky now if you are in this sector, because you still have your jobs intact, and you are not among the 100 millions who have gone employed because of this. It's a very unfortunate situation for a lot of sectors, and I think digital is not one of them. While yes, it is true that we are heavily dependent on brands and their spending power, and brands have reduced their marketing spends. If there's lesser amount of business, obviously they spend less on marketing also, but still it is one of the least affected sectors.
Right. And is there any last advice that you would like to give our audience?
See, join the bandwagon if you're actually passionate about it. Like I mentioned earlier, it requires a lot of time and investment. Don't come here because it's lucrative. See, they're saying it's quite a lucrative field. It's lucrative if you're passionate, if you really want to do it sincerely. I have seen people struggling also, not able to converting their internship into a permanent job for a 2 years. Someone who's not serious about it. So come only if you're serious. It requires passion, it requires time, it requires skills, and it requires dedication and persistence. And don't go into what people say it's lucrative. It completely depends on your skill set and what you bring to the table.
Right. Thank you, Ashish, for your time, and thank you, everyone. The last announcement that I would like to make here is, Rep India is looking for the interns, and
Especially in the especially in the ORM team, I think this is one department that I lead, and we haven't talked about it much. But online reputation management is very critical, and
right.
it is one department in which we are hiring interns.
All right. So those who have interested can note down the email ID. It's info@youthopedia.in, and we will share the CVs with you, Ashish.
No problem.
And
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
so I'll repeat the ID. I'll mention it on the chat section here, and you can reach out to us, and we will get you through. And thank you everyone for your time. And also, we have uploaded a lots of inspiring content on our social media platforms, so you can follow us at Youthopedia, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you, Ashish. I'll just put the ID here.
No problem.
Youthopedia.in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashish, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank